Welcome back, everyone. We're going to continue our series into our behavior management system. We're going to be looking specifically at LookerStudio again today, and we're going to dive a little deeper in where we had left off. So previously, we had done these drop-down lists to filter out our chart. Now we're actually going to use our charts to filter other charts. Now this is a very handy tool, and I really like this. So to begin, we're going to add a page. So I'm going to go over here to page. I'm just going to say new page. Now, these pages, if I want to actually edit them out, and you might get this when you first come in, I'm going to hit Manage Page. So it was Pages, Manage Page. So this first one, let's just rename this. I'm going to call this my main chart. And you can name these anything you want. You want to change these names later on. They might take on whole new meanings later. Chart filtering. And now I have these tabs. I have tab 1 and tab 2, and you can actually eventually have these expanded out. Now, I don't like the look of just these as titles. So actually what I like to do, I'm going to go back into Manage Page. I'm going to hit the 3 dots. I'm going to hit Select Icon. What this is going to do, it's going to let me have a home button. And also I'm going to search, and that little file looks okay, but I know there's a like analytics, and I like the look of that one. So now, if somebody wanted to view this as if it was kind of like a website, you would actually have these tabs to jump between. And if you have it reduced down, you have icons to filter between. And previously that was saying 1 and 2. So now we can get into our chart filter. So I add a new chart, and this is going to be very similar to what I just worked off of. So I'm just going to add chart, and the very first table option is good to go. Now, I don't like that it's doing email here. I actually want to start off with students. And remember, I changed our filter tool back in our sheets to separate freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and put that all together, so to combine those together. So this little tab here, I'm going to spend a little time kind of tweaking this. So I'm going to get into the style. And I want it to show header. I'm going to go ahead and have wrap text just in case the student might have a really long name. I'm going to kind of go off of our school colors that I deal with. So I'm going to do some blues and reds. Maybe my odd row has an off color blue. That's too close to what I wanted the first time. So let's darken that top blue. And then I want to add in, you can play with this as much as you want. Still want to wrap text. Don't need to worry about footer. I want everything center alignment. You can do the background to kind of make it stand off. That's fine. I'm going to put a black border around. I want it to be size 2. So that this is all just aesthetic playing around. And there we go. Now I have this. I'm going to shrink it and expand. Shrink it down and expand. And now, personally, I don't really like it when it counts the numbers off to the side. So I'm going to go back to style, and I'm going to get rid of row number. There we go. I don't really need pagination on this either. So I'm going to go back to style yet again, and I'll turn that off. You'll really get used to this style just playing around. You're not going to break anything. If you do, add a new chart and start fresh. So the reason I got into editing those now and not later, I'm just going to duplicate this. So I have students, and I'm going to duplicate. I'll line this up. And now instead of students, I want to do behavior. And then duplicate again. And now I'm going to change behavior for location. And I'm going to duplicate again. And this is where I normally would have done time, but there's actually a issue with our date and time how we did this. So I'm going to show you how to tweak that. And if you set up your form a little different, you wouldn't have had this issue. But I'm going to show you how to correct the issue that I created for myself. We'll do that later though. So I got 2 locations. I need to swap that out for maybe, let's do grade. Okay, so looking at our data already, this is what's really neat. I see that this student is in here 8 times. Disruptions 4, refusal to participate 8, off task 7, classrooms 11. I've got all this data that I clearly can see now. I'm very limited. I don't have a lot of data in our system just yet. But what's really neat is if I just click classroom right now, it filters everything down to what those 11 classroom events were. Now I know those 11 classroom events were 4 disruption, 4 off task, refusal to participate. I know it's this many freshmen. I know it's these students. So freshmen are causing us a bigger issue. So I click freshmen and it narrows that down even further. And so then I can look at off task to see if maybe it's just this one student. No, I see it's a mix. I can dive into our data a lot cleaner with these filter tools. And I can just, for every one of these categories, I could have this included. So this helps us start conversations. Once again, I'll get to the date and time on here, but if I had date and time, that could also help us pinpoint the time of day that I start having issues. But that is chart filtering. Like I said, it's a really simple setup. We just duplicate that chart, and the moment I start clicking on a piece, it then is filtering down the other ones. And if I ever wanted to just get rid of that, I can hit the reset, or I can do reset up here and it'll clear it all out. And I start looking again. I might look specifically at, well, let's look at this one student to have a conversation and then start narrowing this down to what's happening. I have teachers as a category and fill this in even more. I would recommend, like, the freshman isn't going to take up this huge table space. And so I can narrow that down. And like I said, I can add in teacher underneath that and really build off of this. So this is charts, filtering charts. Play around with this because, like I said, I think this is where you're going to get a lot of your information out and be able to share and actually open up communication and figure these things out. So thank you guys for your time.
Hey, thank you for watching this video. Please click the like button and subscribe so you can stay up to date on any future videos.